What's good on my stock market investor and trader homies? It's your boy Kevin. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the state of the stock market and some big events that are coming up over the next week or so that can determine the direction of the stock market over the next few months. So you're going to want to stay tuned for this one. We're also going to be talking about the top stocks that I'm going to be watching next week, and we're going to be breaking down the current crypto run. We are seeing crypto absolutely blast off and go to the moon over the weekend. We're going to be breaking it all down. But before we get started, everybody destroy that like button for me, because remember, the like button is not our friend. If you want to get $10 free and you don't even need to make a deposit, check out the link in the description for SoFi. SoFi is a one-stop shop banking application. You can get your student loans refinanced, buy a house, buy a car, invest in the stock market, open a checking account, open a savings account, and get a much better interest rate than you would at your local bank. So check out that link in the description. I have the S&P 500 chart pulled up on the screen, and we are trading at alpine levels, baby. We're talking about all-time highs. We can see the moon from this current area we're trading at, and I think this valuation is a little bit lofty. And my top trade idea heading into next week is going to be shorting the S&P 500, shorting the SPY using put options. I'm going to go into this trade idea in detail, but first I want to talk about some important earnings that are going to be coming out next week. Number one, we have Disney set to report earnings, and this is going to be a very big report, not just for Disney, but for the overall market. I think Disney is going to act as a barometer for the market. Big time investors, big hedge funds, big institutional money is going to be watching the Disney ER very closely. If Disney comes out strong, I think the market will react favorably, and I think if they miss, then the market may sell off a little bit, because if Disney misses, then we can expect some other big blue chip stocks to miss on their earnings report as well. We also have AMC stock expected to report earnings on the 9th of August. This is a big deal for AMC. This will be the first earnings report since the big move in the shares price. So we'll keep an eye on AMC stock. There's going to be a lot of volatility there, and we'll also be watching Disney having the bigger implication on the overall stock market. We got to talk about the Robinhood IPO. We knew it was going to be volatile. We knew the stock was going to put in a big move after IPO day, but we didn't expect this big a move. Robinhood opens up for IPO at $38 per share, sells all the way off to $33. Doesn't look like that big of a move, that pink area that I just drew, but that's over a 20% sell-off. We find a bottom at $33.25 and rocket ship all the way to $85, a more than 100% move in just a matter of a few hours. It was volatile to say the least. We have then sold off, and we're kind of flagging up near $56 per share. So I'm holding off from investing in Robinhood stock long term. However, I am stalking it for a swing trade. If we break down here back to this gap fill area, gaps often act as support. That's going to be my buy zone. And I know we're a ways away from that area, and I'm not saying that I'm certain that we're going to get a pullback into my buy zone, but if we do, I'll be waiting, I'll be stalking, and I'll be watching, and I'm going to buy in that area and look for the bounce back up towards $60 per share. So a move from the $45 area, the $45 buy zone, back to $60, that is a 30% move. Our price target is 30%. So that's a big move, and Robinhood is volatile enough to put that big move in. Let's break down the crypto markets, then we'll swing back and talk about my SPY put options trade that I'm looking to put on next week. Dogecoin, baby. Dogecoin is taking off. However, I'm going to be staying away. I'm not buying any Dogecoin, but we're up 25, almost 30% on the day. If we go back to a daily chart though, or even a weekly chart, we can see that we're still considerably off the highs. The chart is still broken, and we're gonna need to see a few more weeks of continued upside action. A crypto that I am interested in buying, a crypto that I did a standalone video on just yesterday, that is Ethereum. Ethereum dropped some massive banger news. They are burning tokens, making Ethereum a deflationary token. Why is that so important? Well, look what's going on in the world with inflation. We have the Federal Reserve printing money like it's going out of style, like they only have 1 day left to print as much money as possible. That has investors all over the world scared, looking for places and assets to put their money. Well, Ethereum is now burning tokens. The lower supply means that if the demand stays the same or goes up, then Ethereum's price in turn goes up as well. So we're trading at 31.67 right now, up about 8% on the day. However, we're still off those highs of 4,300, 4,400, still by quite a bit. So I still think it's a good deal. I think this could be the crypto of the future from a day-to-day living aspect. If you go to the pizza shop, you're probably gonna be using Ethereum. If you go to the car wash, Ethereum. Why? The transaction speed is faster. It's a faster transaction speed than Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, you gotta wait that 10, 15, sometimes even 20 minutes for the transaction to process. With Ethereum, you don't have to sit there waiting for that transaction to go through. It's much faster, making the application better in my opinion. Back on the SPY screen, and this is my main trade watch going into the week. And I will alert the chat room when I enter the trade, or if I enter, or if I'm not entering it, I'll alert the chat next week. But my idea on this trade really has to do with the infrastructure bill. We are expected to see the $1.5 trillion infrastructure bill get passed. I think when that does get passed, with relatively low opposition in the Senate or the House, even Republicans are on board. This is why this is quoted the bipartisan infrastructure bill. I expect it to get passed early next week, and that to provide a little bit of a boost to the overall stock market. However, once it gets passed, you're going to see tons of Republicans and even some Democrats come out and say, all right, we passed that bill, but there's no way in hell that we're passing the $3.5 trillion behemoth of a budget bill. And I think that's going to throw the market off a little bit, and that is a reason why I'm looking to short this market when it's trading at all-time highs. If we go to the option screen here on Webull, 2 free stocks, link in the description, I'm going to be going pretty far out here. The September monthly puts, and we're going to be looking at the 443 strike by the time I enter the position. These 43 strike puts will be right at the money, maybe a little bit out of the money, making them the perfect contract, and we will buy those. That gives us enough time for the trade to work out, and if it's not working as expected, we need a little more time. We can even roll those out to October or even November, give the trade more time to work. But we're going to be looking for this SPY to gap up Monday or Tuesday, and then we're going to look to buy those put options and for this thing to roll back over down towards 435, 430, and we'll be peeling some off on the way down. NIO is reporting earnings soon as well. NIO has crushed delivery numbers over the last couple of quarters, and we have just seen NIO kind of chop around. If we look at the weekly chart, we're trading in this flag, and this earnings report is very important because we're either going to have a downward reaction and we'll break out of the downside of this flag, or we're going to have a positive reaction to this earnings report and we'll break out of the bull flag and head higher, maybe retest those all-time highs. But I think if we break to the downside, we could sell off pretty strong over the next couple of months. So this is a very important earnings for NIO. And if NIO comes out with good earnings, watch out for XPeng Motors, because if NIO has a good quarter in the Chinese EV market, we would also expect XPeng to have a good quarter as well. So we can be watching that NIO earning report, listening to it. If it sounds positive, jump on some XPeng and ride it higher off that NIO sympathy. Those are the top stocks that I'm going to be watching next week. Going to be watching Ethereum as well, looking for any dip buy opportunities. and we will be watching that S&P 500 trade. I love all of you. I will catch you guys in the next video. Until next time, deuces.